greenery, including right-of-ways, and including parks. So Dubai is very advanced in terms of utilizing or making optimal use of treated water. But the strategy also define what we need to do next. I think we still don't have a network, I think, within the neighboring. We have network toward the big user like mall for TSC. I meant like five stars hotel, the parks as well. But I think in terms of reaching the last customer, that is something that we could want on the horizon of 2030 and beyond. So I'll stop here and I'll leave the floor for the other speaker. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Faisal. Join me in inviting the final speaker today before we open up for the Q&A session. Ahmad Saif is a cross-functional sustainability professional with experience in research, consultancy, and government. Currently, he is a manager in WSP's advisory services, focusing on smart, sustainable, and resilient communities. Prior to that, Umar was a regional economic advisor for the Netherlands Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where he supported Dutch water, energy, and agri-tech businesses enter the Gulf market. His previous consulting role with EY's Climate Change and Sustainability MENA team included the delivery of a wide range of sustainability projects, ranging from sustainability strategies to techno-economic feasibility studies across several sectors, including waste, power and utilities, oil and gas, and construction. In addition, Umar worked as a policy researcher at several renowned research institutes in Canada and the Middle East, where he focused on power and water sector reform. He holds a mechanical engineering degree and master's in engineering in energy and public policy, and a bachelor's of science in environmental science from both McMaster University in Canada. I'm delighted to welcome our final speaker to share his thoughts on water security. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Alia. I'm going to just try to take a slightly different take. It's always unfortunate or fortunate to be the last speaker. But what I'd like to do is just to recap some of the main lessons learned and maybe add my 2 cents as well. So sticking to the title of the actual panel session, I would like to highlight some of the lessons from the UAE, because I do think there's been a lot of fantastic progress made in the water sector over the past decade or so. And I'm going to start with maybe highlighting 3 key points. The first is around resilience. The second is around sustainability and continuity. And the last is around governance. With respect to resilience, some of my colleagues here, they've already mentioned it, but definitely the scale at which desalination has been proliferating in the region has added to the overall supply and to security in the UAE. But noticeable points about that is if we take look at a few years back when we had some of the major red tide events, the harmful algal blooms that disrupted desalination operations in the UAE and in the Gulf region in general. I think that was a very good wake-up call for a lot of the utilities in terms of how do we adjust our operations so that it's not just about providing capacity, but also being able to weather particular disruptions. And what we saw from that was a very clear response by the utilities in the region. So, hats off to DEWA,